I wonder, have you ever thought, I would love to share my faith with other people, but I just don't know how? Or perhaps you feel that you wouldn't know where to start, or you're worried that someone's going to ask you a question that you're not going to be able to answer. Well, I'm joined today by V, who's a Church Army evangelist, and she's going to tell us about a new course which is designed specifically to help ordinary Christians to share their faith in Jesus with those around them. So V, great having you along.
Hello.
Can you tell us something about the Faith Shared course?
Yes, absolutely. Firstly, John, thank you so much for having me. So, Faith Shared is a wonderful course from Church Army, and really the aim is all about helping Christians and church communities of all traditions to think about how they might connect with the communities around them, but also how they might share the incredible good news of Jesus with the communities around them. So Faith Shared is not just for large groups of people, but it's also for small groups.
So it's a course that would work well in small groups. Can you tell us a little bit about the course? Is it one of those courses where you need to buy course books and leaders manuals and have a video and all the rest of it, or is it simpler than that? How does it work? What does an evening look like?
Well, I mean, the first good news is that Faith Shared is completely free, so you won't need to buy any workbooks. And you can find all the resources from the Church Army's website, and you could download it all from that website. And I would also like to add that each session is made up of 4 parts. So it begins with an introduction of the subject of the session to help the group think about what they might already know about the subject. The group will then have an opportunity to watch a very short clip, probably about 3 to 4 minutes long, and that clip will cover some key ideas centered around the subject of the session. The group will then have an opportunity to dig a bit deeper into some of the key areas that were covered in the clip. And then as the session draws to a close, there'll be an opportunity for the group to pray together and to reflect on all that has been covered and to also reflect on how they might respond to it all.
So you've given us a little bit of an outline of what a session would look like, some of the components of a typical session. And we've already said that this is a course aimed at helping ordinary Christians, everyday Christians, to share their faith with, I don't know, perhaps their families or their friends, those they work with, their neighbours. So can you tell us now, having told us what a session looks like, can you let us know some of the subjects perhaps that are covered in order to give Christians that sense of confidence?
Yes, so Faith Shared is 6 sessions long, and it covers questions such as what is evangelism? How can we in our churches engage with evangelism and outreach in our context? And how can we make sure that Jesus is at the center of everything that we do? So the 6 sessions are as follows. The first session will focus on exploring the question, what is evangelism? The second session will then focus on what is your story? The third session will then focus on how and where can you share your story? The fourth session will then focus on what is Jesus' story, which is incredible. And then the fifth session will focus on how can we and our churches invite people to become part of God's story. And then the final session will then be all centered around thinking about as a group how you might engage with evangelism and outreach in your context.
Brilliant. I love that. I love the way that there's an emphasis on the individual and on the church community, on equipping individuals to share their faith, but also churches thinking, how can we create a culture of invitation that draws people towards Jesus? So that sounds great. And I love the whole thing about our story and God's story and how we connect those. I think I know what you're going to say in response to this, but just want to ask, would you recommend this to churches? And is there anything that you'd say to help them if they're considering doing this Faith Shared course? Any tips or hints that you might give them?
Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend this course. I mean, I've engaged with it. It's great fun. But for any churches or Christians that might consider engaging with this course, what I would say is that it is accessible. As I said earlier, it's accessible for churches and Christians of all traditions. But also, Faith Shared places a lot of emphasis not just on doing things on your own, but doing things together as a community. And I think there's a lot of value in that. But also, if you want to do it online or in person, The course is set up in such a way that you could do it both, or either in person or online. So it's great for that as well. So if you would like more information, please feel free to visit the Church Army's website. Feel free to get in touch with me or John, and we would be delighted to have a chat with you about it. So thank you.